Your alarm goes off, you hit snooze, then you hit snooze again, and you can just squeeze in one more snooze. Then you eventually kick the sheets aside, stumble out of bed and make your way to the kettle. You're feeling excessively thirsty, but wait for that coffee or tea. Then you're back upstairs for a nice long hot shower and you're on your way to work. If this sounds like you, then before you've even started the day, you've made certain that that stubborn belly fat is going to be hanging around for a while longer. In today's video, I'm going to talk you through why your morning routine is preventing you from getting lean, and more importantly, what you can do to fix it. And remember, everything that I talk about in my videos are the things that I actually do to get in shape and stay in shape. There's no influencer rubbish, no silly diets or workouts, nothing is hidden behind some paywall, and there's no Patreon. Just simple, honest, free advice that actually works. Anyway, less waffle, let's get into it. Straight away, let's deal with that snooze button. If you're one of those people that just can't stop hitting snooze, we need to understand why that is and the impact that it's having on your waistline. Now, we all need approximately 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep per night. This is when our body recovers from workout stress and builds new muscle. It also helps to keep our cortisol levels in check. Elevated levels of cortisol can cause the body to store fat around the waist. And don't forget, testosterone is made whilst we are asleep as well. Now, regardless of how nice it might feel to have that extra snooze, it's not actually having any genuine benefit. Remember, quality sleep is undisturbed sleep. And once you start hitting the snooze button, well, that's anything but undisturbed. And the slightly ironic thing about all of this is that by sleeping in the morning, we can impact our ability to get to sleep the next night, meaning we end up wanting to hit snooze again, and so the cycle goes on. This is truly the worst way that we can start our day. We're setting ourselves up for elevated cortisol and less testosterone. The good news is that the fix is really simple. You firstly need to decide how much time you need in the morning and then set your alarm accordingly. When your alarm goes off, get up. This will only be difficult for the first couple of days, and if you really struggle with this, put your phone on the other side of your room. It'll stop you checking it in the night, but it will also mean that you have to get up to turn your alarm off. The final piece in this jigsaw is to make sure that you go to bed on time so that you have enough sleep, enough quality sleep, and getting up is even easier. And if you're struggling with that, set an alarm for when you need to go to bed as well. And definitely don't snooze that one. In order to start your day on the right footing, this next one is essential. Make your bed. This will give you the instant sense of having achieved something, which just puts us in a much better place mentally. This has got to be the least effort versus most reward of pretty much anything in today's video. So when we wake up in the morning, typically speaking, we haven't drank since the night before. This means that we're dehydrated. In order to get our metabolism moving and to clear our mind, it's vital that we fix this straight away. Now, a lot of people will have a coffee or a tea as their first drink of the day. And whilst there's nothing wrong with coffee or tea in the morning, it's not the best for rehydration and it's not readily available. If you really want to kickstart your day, you need to have a glass of water waiting for you when you wake up. Now, I just fill up a pint glass of water before I go to bed and I put it on my bedside table, and the first thing that I do in the morning before I make the bed is I neck that glass of water. It's also important to remember that when you wake up in the morning, not only are you dehydrated, but your electrolyte stores will be diminished too. So if you really want to supercharge your morning, add electrolytes to that glass of water as well. The next thing that I do is I have some caffeine. Because I use intermittent fasting and also because I don't drink any calories, I have a double espresso. This for me is like the jolt that really gets me going for the day. Now, I'm sure that some of you will have heard that there's a bit of a thing going around at the moment, which is about delaying caffeine for 60 to 90 minutes after you wake. The argument is that this allows morning cortisol levels to drop first, as it's thought that otherwise the caffeine can cause cortisol to spike further. Now, the research around this is still very limited, and it's not something that I personally do, but I would find it difficult to fit that delay into my morning routine anyway. Now, if you've had any success with this, then please let me know in the comments. Now, I work out in the morning, so after that coffee, I'm either lifting, doing a stretching session, or I'll go for a walk to get my metabolism moving. If you're wanting to get lean, I'd recommend working out in the morning like I do in a fasted state, as it helps to keep burning fat. But I know that that isn't always possible for everybody. But if you can do it, I'd recommend you give it a go. There's nothing more likely to prevent you from working out than having to do it after a long day at work, a long and stressful day at work when you're absolutely knackered. And worst of all, if you've had to stay behind, it can prevent you working out altogether. So working out in the morning means that you've put you first, and it doesn't matter what happens at work, you've already done your workout. Okay, so this next one is not going to be for everyone, but if you really want to skyrocket your levels of discipline and cut time in the morning, along with aiding your body to recover, I'd recommend that you give it a go. So what is it? Well, cold showers. Now, this is a super invigorating way to start your day. There's even some research to suggest that it can help metabolism. One thing is for certain, doing something that is difficult first thing in the morning is going to make everything else seem that little bit easier, including sticking to your eating plan. Okay, so I hope that today's video has helped you to see where your morning routine might be scuppering your chances of getting lean before your day's even begun. And if you've made it this far, why not boing the like and subscribe? It genuinely makes a massive difference in getting this content out to other people like yourself. Anyway, I'm Tommy, this is Six Pack 50, and if you're wanting to get lean for the summer, I'd suggest that the next video you watch is this one right here. Give it a click, go on.